Okay, it's the crew from Family Man, my old friend Manoj Bajpayee. Always so wonderful to see you.
Always such a pleasure to be with you all the time. Yeah.
And Priya, or should I say National Award-winning Priya.
Oh, thank you for that. Just call me Priya.
So wonderful to have you in studio for the very first time. That's amazing.
Yes, thank you so
and
much.
another Purana Papi, which is Sharib Hashmi. How are you, Sharib?
Namaskar.
So, brother, I see you being the family man very often with Ava and with Shabana. So, one aspect is very easy and taken care of.
It is.
And all of us struggle, taking our children to dance class, taking them for coaching class
to
and tuition.
Yeah. It's quite a task. But I really feel bad for the mothers, because they are there, taking care of the children's schedule and taking them all around. And this, so sometimes when you are free, then I take over. Just try to make Shavana a little bit easier, so that there, she also has time to binge watch some shows or go shopping, all of that. Yeah.
And Sharib, as a family man, you go through that too. Whatever we do is never enough in our own minds, isn't it? You're always struggling with dunyadari, with a day-to-day struggle, being a regular Joe. How often are you able to chip in and be that regular Joe when you're not filming or writing? Yeah.
When I'm not filming, I'm all for the family only. I completely dedicate my time with them, with my kids, with my daughter, son, my wife, and I enjoy every bit of it. And I actually start praying when the shoot is going non-stop and for months on. So I pray for I get a break in between so I can spend some time with my family also.
What about you? Is there a feeling of, I could do more there, or you're very satisfied with the time that you give to family?
Honestly speaking, I don't think anybody is satisfied spending very little time with family. I mean, as much as possible, you'd want to spend more time with them. Given the pressure and given the odd timings of the industry, what it wants from you, you're never able to give as much time as possible. But yes, the small satisfaction which you get with spending time with them, be it even for a day or two or maybe a week or 10 days. So the little pleasures, the guilty pleasures that you have spending time with family, be it going out with them or just sitting at home, just talking to them, spending time with them, I think those are the best moments you can ever, and you'll never get them back again.
I'm so interested, because again, you and me both have cross-cultural marriages.
Right.
I mean, here is you too. Fantastic. One more.
Awesome.
And that has got to be such an interesting aspect, I mean, in particular me, because it's a north-south kind of marriage.
Right.
You and Shabana too, it's a completely different cultural context.
Right.
And that's what your character also grapples in this particular thing.
Yeah, Shrikant Tiwari of Family Man. He's a man from Banaras, typical North Indian Banaras guy. And wife is from South India. He doesn't take anything, he doesn't take any pressure on himself. He takes everything very lightly, and that's his problem too. When it comes to family, that nature of his, that personality of his, kind of creeps in, and that really irritates the hell out of his wife. So he's taking everything for granted, and then running against time to really do the family duty, and he's failing every time he's making any kind of effort, because the demanding family on one side and the demanding job on the other side, it's so difficult to strike that balance between both the world. And this is where he's trying to succeed, and he's failing all the time. It's like crab going up, coming down, crab going up, coming down. It's like that.
And cross-cultural marriages always result in great children, because the cross-pollination of genes is supposed to be fantastic. So you know that Ava has a bright future. So this is true to life. I mean, all those the cross-cultural marriage issues that come up. This is wonderful, because actors have to draw from their real life to portray characters.
Yes.
Happens with you and your husband. Yeah,
it does actually. I mean, I've drawn a lot of what can I say? The especially the scenes that have been shot between Manoj sir and me. the emotional aspect of the character, or be it even the small minute expressions, the counter expressions what she has to give to Shrikant. I think I have drawn inspiration from all the women on my mother's side, because you have the typical South Indian ladies who sort of give you that stare when things don't go your way. I don't know. Normally, I'm sure all the ladies would have the same amount of their expressions would be the same, but I don't know. There is something about the South Indian ladies ka stare, where you're like, I'm sorry, oh God, what did I get myself into, kind of a thing. So I have actually seen my aunts give that stare to my uncles, and the way they very easily come out of it, and they sort of talk their way through and say, don't worry, I'll do it, Ari, I'm telling you, I'll do it. No, they're like, I wish I could actually
so Manoj's character got that look.
He got
that look.
A lot of times. Because I think that's the beauty of incorporating just making it as natural and as real as possible. And I think it was all thanks to obviously Manoj sir and Raj sir and DK sir, who were so open to suggestions, also saying, because we said let's make it as real as possible. Then I did say, can I bring in some expressions like this, because usually South Indians do that.
Yeah, this is called the South Indian mommy syndrome.
I'm a mommy only.
Sweet.
You're
far from a mommy. Maybe you mean in the
than mommy.
Do not forget that Sharib Hashmi is a writer first. The acting can come later. So the lines will keep coming out. I like that. I mean, can I describe it this way?
I'll draw some line now.
Hey, line mat maro. Now this interview is going in a totally in a Raj DK direction. But can I draw a parallel saying that, in most of these cop or intelligence officer situations, there is one Ram and there is a Hanuman. So are you a Hanuman to his
no.
Ram, or is it the opposite?
No. He is not the Hanuman.
Okay.
He is the if I may say in inverted commas, he is the first wife of Shrikant Tiwari. And why I say so, Sharib will
So not
explain.
Hanuman, but more Sita.
Because he spends most of the time with me than Suchitra. So,
which is actually amazing. I was giving a lift to a cop during Ganpati time, and he said that he's not able to see his family for days and days. It's a tough life, and sometimes you see more of your partner than you see anybody else.
True.
So I've had the good fortune of meeting Raj and DK in a tennis court in Manish Nagar.
Okay.
And they're really interesting guys.
Yeah, very interesting.
They're amazing.
There was a monologue they gave me on Ekta Kapoor, which I can't repeat here.
Why did you even say that?
All wonderful things.
All wonderful things. Yes, I'm sure.
but really, and before you came in, I mean, one of my colleagues and me were discussing, saying, my God, Go Goa Gone is such a cult film.
Right.
It has increased Goa tourism. And then Stree, of course, being a notable, and even Shore in the City. So they're obviously really interesting guys in real life as well as real life. So your interactions with these two fine gentlemen.
Oh, they are the coolest of them, So I find them very modern. They're born and brought up and done their schooling from Andhra. And then both of them knew each other from their childhood, and they studied, done their further studies in US, and done their respective jobs, and they decided to come back to India and chose Bombay, not even Hyderabad, because somewhere they've thought that they don't relate to the industry of Hyderabad, and somehow they thought that Mumbai is a city, or Mumbai industry is a city where they can actually make what they want to make. So they have taken best of both the worlds, Andhra, best of Andhra and best of US, So it's they are the, for me, when I look at them, I say this is the definition of a modern guy. Modern guy is not somebody who is always doing modern guy is somebody who has a very open outlook, openness, about mind, in the manner they look at the world, in the manner they look at the politics, world politics, geopolitical discussions that we used to have with them, with each other. We are on the same plane. I learn so much just by talking to them, just the way they are. I think this is what I want to be. I personally want to be called a modern person, and modern person, I always thought that modern person is not somebody who is doing rap or somebody who doing perfect moonwalking, so somebody like Raj and DK, I think these are the guys, and they are quirky, they are humorous, and yet they are so serious, about things, about their direction, in the manner they give justice not only to the scenes, but to each and every actor, no matter how small part that they are playing, So this is what my learning is, from the set and from these two gentlemen.
You can actually write a thesis on people from Hyderabad and Andhra and Telangana.
I can.
Considering you spent so much time with Ram Gopal Verma in the early part of your career. And Priya has an RGV connection also.
I do, yes. I have worked, unfortunately I can say, but I've worked with Ramu sir only in one film, which is Rakta Charitra, Part 2.
Correct, yeah. But it's wonderful. I don't know if you met Ramu recently. That he has this tendency of looking at his own films and laughing.
Yeah,
which is quite a good quality.
See, Ramu is one of a kind. I don't think God will ever produce another Ramu.
Yeah.
This is the only version which is available in the market.
Seriously.
No 2.0.
And there is and you are not going to get any upgraded version of it.
Yeah.
I don't think even he can describe himself like that, Manoj.
Because my relationship with Ramu is in line of these are two friends who agree and mostly disagree.
You can agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah. So we start off very well whenever we meet up. We start off on a high note, and we are exchanging notes of whatever we've been doing in the past, and then the disagreement starts from there. But I enjoy each and every moment with this guy. He's a perfect definition of a rebel. Okay, he's a rebel. Whatever he's been doing, he'll rebel against it. He will just reject it. He'll, as you said it very rightly, that he has the ability to laugh at his own work or the past work, and also he has the ability to define anything, most distinguished or very different manner. Suppose if you're a critique of, say, Donald Trump, Ramu is also a critique of Donald Trump, but his idea about Donald Trump or his criticism will be completely different from the rest of the world. This is where he's so different. His mind works in a very different way. That's why he is Ram Gopal Verma. That is why this man has changed not only the Mumbai industry, he has changed the entire Indian film industry.
Yeah.
Correct. There's no doubt about that.
Single-handedly, this man has been responsible in changing the way we looked at cinema or looked at performance.
Absolutely.
And in a way, Sharib, if you look at the modern era directors, like he was talking about, the so-called cool directors, like what Raj and DK are, they also emulated Ramu's cinema. If you perhaps ask them in their filmography, there will be a Satya which features somewhere there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the truth actually. Raj and DK somewhere were quite fascinated with Satya, and Satya has given them quite a lot of strength to be a filmmaker. This is what I have heard, during the promotional interviews.
So, what is the character, Sharib?
I play J.K. Talpade, who's Shrikant Tiwari's associate, his close confidant, as she mentioned, his first wife. So yeah, we both work in task, threat analysis and surveillance cell, and we try and predict attacks before they happen, the terror attacks. So that's our job, and then how we go about it is what the family portion is, what Priyamani, his character. Suchitra Tiwari.
So, is it giving too much away when I ask you that does Suchitra know about his alter ego, his other side, his job?
See, for Suchitra, she obviously for her, she thinks Shrikant is he is doing government job. He is in a government job, and he just sits behind a desk 9 to 5, and all he does is just sign papers or documents
Moving
or whatever.
files, yeah.
Moving files or whatever. But obviously, she doesn't know about the other aspect of it. She is not very clear about it.
She knows it's a government job.
Yeah, that's about it. And obviously, and the kids don't know, because that's the thing about a government agent, the family. They're not very sure about what their respective the point of view of the kids. They don't know what their fathers are doing. Their father is doing. The wife doesn't know what the husband is doing. And because that's the beauty of the job, I can say, because they're not supposed to reveal what exactly the nature of the job is. And so that during the entire 10 episodes of the Family Man, you'll get to see that how Shrikant Tiwari is balancing his personal life and his professional life. How Suchi she is the one who wears the pants in the house. She sort of runs the household. She has on one hand, she has to take care of the kids. She also has a job, because usually in such genre of when they're showcasing an agent or a spy or whatever, you don't have much about the family that's being shown or being established. Or they just establish that, okay, he has a wife, he has 2 kids, and that's about it. Not much of importance is given to them. But in this, each and every character is got its own importance. So people will actually, they can identify with the characters. They can identify probably with the one-liners or the day-to-day happenings between JK and Shrikant. The emotional outbursts happening between Shrikant and Suchi. It can happen to anybody's life. It can happen in your personal life. The way Shrikant and Suchi fight. You can also have that fight with your wife. I could have had that fight with my husband. Sharib could have had it with his wife. Manoj sir could have had it with his wife. I'm saying it's so natural, it's so real, and it's so, believable that people actually will identify with each and every character in the series.
I'm just so proud that you're a Padma Shri. And anybody who knows you will say that about you. It's just so wonderful. It's just so wonderful. How did it feel? Was it in the Darbar Hall?
Darbar Hall.
How did it feel? I mean, it's indescribable, I know, but the little bit. Yeah.
No, see, Hrishi, when I went there to receive it. My wife accompanied, and she was having conjunctivitis. So I told her to wear a shade, and that shade became quite a point of discussion. Everybody
sensational.
Why is she wearing that?
Everybody thought that Shavana is being naive wearing that, but nobody knew that there was a problem behind that. But having said that, I was sitting there and we were shown the way, we were shown the chair, and we were actually told how to get up and when to get up, how far you should go, and then you should turn and then go towards the president, do this, do that, all the protocol. But when I got up, when I was walking towards my point, right in front of me, our Prime Minister was sitting. Right in front of me, the Home Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh ji, was sitting. So all these big guys, the chief of the government, they was facing towards me, looking at me, So yes, that was a little time of nervousness for me. And then when I went to the president to collect the honor, you know what he said? He said, your father must be very proud of you, and that kind of triggered a kind of an emotion in me, because that day my mother was in the hospital. She was just operated, and I wanted them to accompany me with my wife. So a little bit of emotion, but my father was sitting in Darbar Hall, and is very old. So, and then I told him that this is what Mr. President has said, and you know what my father said? He's a farmer from Gaon. He said, "इसमें कहने की क्या बात है? बाप को तो गर्व ही होगा ना."
I remember you telling me once very early on, saying that, Hrishi K, for a boy from Bihar, you can have conversations on politics and bureaucracy for hours and hours.
Yeah, hours and hours.
And for that boy from Bihar to stand up on stage and see the Prime Minister and the Home Minister and the President, that must have come with its own sense of beautiful baggage, not bad baggage, beautiful baggage.
Actually, and more than that, when I came out, and for another 7 days, 8 days, that clip of me receiving Padma Shri was trending. And on social media, some of them have commented that this I can go on watching forever. This is this is what this is what kind of combined the whole of for that moment. Combined the whole of India. There was no disagreement. There was no
It was like our own
controversy.
achievement.
Yeah, it's like everybody felt that they received this honor. That's the success of Manoj Bajpayee journey.
I'll tell you what other thing could be construed as success. You see, when all of us senior journalists meet,
Right.
we always have opinions. You know what I mean? And if
Right.
somebody has won the national award, more often than not, we say, it's okay. Maybe he didn't deserve it, and this and that. And for a room full of senior journalists to turn around and say, not object at all, and all say, wow, this is one guy who won that Padma Shri, and there is no debate on it. It's fantastic, and that's actually happened with me when I've been with a room full of journalists. We
Okay.
meet sometimes,
it's
just like
amazing.
Yeah.
your fraternity.
Right.
You guys have a drink or
Right,
meet for
right.
coffee. We do
Right.
that often.
Right.
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 And when you're together, you discuss stuff.
Yeah.
You
Right.
discuss interviews, you discuss actors, and this and that. And nobody in that room, when that news of the Padma Shri came out, ever said, anything but wow, he deserves it.
Yeah.
And I think that to you is fantastic. I mean,
Thank you, Hrishi. Thank you very much. This is the real compliment. This is the real accomplishment. I would say that the friends feeling proud of you, and the country feeling proud of you is something which is the success of my journey.
lovely. After all the work that you've done in Telugu and Kannada and and Tamil and Malayalam
Malayalam,
films,
Yeah.
is there still a knot in the stomach when you go for an audition or a look test or a screen test? I mean, a lot of people turn around and say, oh, she's there, she's a new one, and this and that, and they don't know your incredible body of work.
Honestly speaking, it's just been about a year and a half that I've moved to Mumbai, and I have not attended as many auditions or screen tests as needed. I don't know, because I've just been, I think so far in this 1.5 years, I've just given like 2 screen tests.
Beautiful.
That's about it.
That means people in
And
the fraternity are aware, which is what matters.
no, they aren't aware actually.
Why? I thought they just call you and give you the role instead of
I
auditioning.
thought the same thing as well, but this was for another film. I think it was for John Abraham wala. What's the movie?
Batla House.
Ne. Matlab,
Parmanu.
Parmanu. It was for Parmanu, where I had to play John's wife, the character.
Yeah.
So they said, the audition is happening at this place, so please come and give your audition. So I said, okay. And so I was actually just asking my husband, I said, why are they calling me for audition? I mean, don't they know that I'm an accomplished actor in
A
the
national
South?
award winner. Yeah.
So he said, see, that's the difference between North and the Bombay industry and the South. I mean, Bollywood does not actually care.
Know much about.
Yeah, they don't care much about your accomplishments down south. Whereas when you come out in Bollywood, it's like probably it could be like a full-fledged role or whatever. At that point of time, I'm saying much before the movie came out. They said it could be. So my husband was saying it just could be like here auditions are part and parcel of any actor's life. So if they want you to go for it. So I
Family
said,
man. Post-family man.
Post-family man.
Things will change.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
It will.
No,
Fingers
but
crossed.
you know a good actor from bad, and you obviously think highly of her. And
Very high.
Amazing.
Actually, very high. Yeah.
I'm
very
the only
high.
one who tested for this part in family.
So but for me, it always takes that one work of yours, and suddenly everybody is aware of you. And here, Family Man, it's not about 1.5 hour film or 2 hour film. It's about 10 bloody episodes.
Yeah.
So they can't. They can't afford to forget the faces or the talent that Priyamani is, or the talent Sharib is.
Yeah.
I always feel that this guy who's sitting next to Priyamani, Sharib, our friend Sharib, deserves more than what he's gotten.
I completely agree with that.
Much more.
But I have to say this, Filmistan, just like Gali Gulia and Bhosle and Son Chedi and all the wonderful body of work that he's done, is going to go into film schools.
Yeah.
Not just because of it being a national award, but all your collective team effort. And what a film it was. I mean, you'll never be able to live that legacy down, which is a good thing.
No, it is a good thing. I'll always be proud of being a part of Filmistan. In fact, never in the wildest of my dreams I'd imagined that I would be a part of something so beautiful like Filmistan, and I'll be playing the main lead in it. I would be writing dialogues for it, and the film will go on to win the best Hindi films national award. So it's amazing. And
how's the writing going? I wanted to ask you that right at the top. I mean, you're such a talented writer. Everybody refers to you as the actor, but I know that you're such a fine writing mind. How's that going?
Writing has taken a little backseat as of now, but I wrote dialogues for the Notebook, which was directed by Nitin only.
Correct.
And now I'm working on a subject for myself. I'm developing it as
But is it because you're not pitching yourself as a writer, or
I'm not
you're
pitching myself as a writer. I'm actually, in fact, I
concentrate on
keep
the
getting writing
acting.
offers, but
Now I think post Family Man is going to be so busy.
Yeah, I want to, because
if
acting is my
if
first
you are
love.
not pitching yourself, then that's fine. That's a choice.
I'm not.
But I think that the industry needs writers
He's writing
like
for
you.
himself now. Yeah, this is what he told me, and this is what he told one of the journalists today morning, that he's writing for himself.
Fair
now.
enough. Why not?
Which is fantastic.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Totally fantastic. Yeah. So now let's come to the spy angle.
Okay.
I'm done with the spies looking cool with the hot girls on the left of them and the caviar and the champagne.
No, all that is not there in the family.
And it's just fantastic.
Here to my left is one sweaty guy standing in the tray, and the other side one eunuch.
So and that must have been the prime reason why they had you at narration, because this is the reality.
In 20 minutes, flat 20 minutes at Indigo Restaurant, which is very close to my house. In flat 20 minutes, I was sold off to the idea. I never had any doubt about their credential as directors. And after that, I said, I'm almost positive about it. Just give me 2 episodes, to read. I finished it as soon as it reached my place. And from that time till now, it's a dream run, man. I mean, as Shrikant Tiwari, I feel that Shrikant Tiwari is always there in me. He's kicking, buzzing, desperate to come out all the time. I enjoyed it so much. Each and every moment that I have worked out, when you execute it, firstly you have doubt that you can pull it off, and when you execute it and you surprise yourself, you surprise your director. And when you see your co-actors, remembering those sequences and those little nuances, you think that yes, this is something new that has happened, in terms of the performance. So yes, I'm quite. And also coming back to the first thing about caviar and champagne, because
shaken not stirred.
Yeah. So here our director says that this is a James Bond from Chembur. Okay.
Except that it's from Banaras.
Yeah, he stays in
from
Chembur.
Anurag Kashyap's hometown, which he talks about.
So he originally comes from there, and now he stays in Chembur, and he's married to a South Indian girl from Matunga, and the children go to an English medium school, and he is badgered by his children, he's badgered by his wife on every move. I mean, he utters a word and he's shut up.
Yeah, when we grew up, you never said those things to your parents. But modern day kids say that.
Yeah.
Like in the trailer, I see he says, kya kar rahe ho babu? Whatever.
So I mean, my daughter says that he does government job because in government job you don't do anything. You just sit back and relax. So that's the idea that children have about their father. And walking with a briefcase, taking the local train, eating at Vada Pav Center. These are these are the usual thing. And he has Sharib Hashmi as his confidant or aide, or the best friend that he is in the series. So this is the world, Hrishi, that fascinated me, because somewhere Raj and DK, what they have done, they not only made a realistic film about Indian intelligence agent, but they also broke so many myths, so many stereotypical ways of looking at an agent.
Yes.
They just broke it. They turned it right on its head, and now you see an agent, an Indian agent, and his atmosphere, his surrounding, his friends, his family. And this is what is this is what is the USP of the show.
It must have also taken you back to your Act 1 days in Delhi, when you worked on rehearsals, when you worked on performances, and there were multiple performances.
Yeah.
That's what web series does for you. You
It
can
does.
just keep working on the character.
Yeah, you keep. I mean, there's unending. It just goes on. I mean, from the time you start working on the character to the time that you go for the table read, then you are going for the costume trial, then you are still sitting with the directors, and suddenly you are given this news that 6th episode has come. So,
Let's watch it.
let's read it. So
Yeah.
you start start pressurizing the assistant directors to send the script to your place. So
in Devanagari.
So in Devanagari.
You also like Mr. Bachchan, like
Oh,
to read
yeah.
there.
Since years now. So Devanagari, because that's my medium. This is I studied in a Hindi medium school. I know Hindi as Hindi, not as Roman. So and if you give me a script in Hindi, I'll finish it very fast.
Correct. Because the nuktas are there, the bindis are there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. Do you like yours in English script?
English,
Yeah.
yes.
What about you?
I don't mind anything.
In anything?
Yeah.
कुछ भी
स्क्रिप्ट आनी चाहिए किसी भी लैंग्वेज में हो.
You belong to the days of just narration and
Just
no
narration.
script.
Because in MTV we write in Roman only.
Ah,
When
yeah.
I was in
correct,
MTV as a
correct.
writer.
I got it in
So-
Roman actually.
Yeah. Well, last few questions. I remember, I think it was 95 or something like that. The first time, one of my classmates, Pondi,
Right.
Rawal Raman,
Yeah.
brought me to meet you the very first time, and
Right.
and you were staying in
a
Bhatt Saab's,
Shastra,
Bhatt Saab's wife's, I think Kiran's
Yeah.
house
Yeah, right.
at the time,
Right.
and you opened the door making some porridge or something. So I know you from the Satya and the Ghat days.
Yeah,
How much, when you look back at that boy,
Yeah.
that boy to now, how much have you changed?
Much. I mean, so much actually. I have gone so much milder, so much restlessness was there in me. Also, I was working in an environment which was where everything was just against the thought process that I had, or against the dream that I had for myself. So I was always on the attacking mode. Those days. Always on front foot. If anybody attacks, I'm going to attack him back. So yeah, those were difficult days for me. Sleepless nights, trying to do something meaningful, but the industry wants you to do something else. So there used to be days of just disturbances, reading things about me which was just not right, and struggling to get the right script, struggling to get a good script written, trying to set it up, because all the films which was being offered to me, with all the big stars, and all the main villain roles were being offered, and I didn't want to do it. I wanted to take a path where where I could see my dream, and that was not happening. So yeah, days of rebellion, restlessness, and now I'm much more quieter, calmer, much more settled in my mind. Yeah.
And from that calmness has come such great performances.
Yeah.
I really think you're now making an industry for yourself. The scripts they're choosing, and it's so wonderful. Thank you very much, Priya.
Thank
you
you
very
so
much,
much.
Sharib.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Manoj.
Manoj.
Thank you.
And everybody who's listening, please stream The Family Man 20th
On
onwards
Amazon Prime
on
Video.
Amazon Prime.
20th
Video.
September.
Yeah, 20th. Yeah.